Hello, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Happy Friday. Um, if you are new around here, my name is Amy, and I am here to help you incorporate gifting into your client journey to enhance your client experience. So, today I wanted to just talk about how I got into gifting. Um, and So I probably won't be before you very long. I wanted to, just get on and tell you about my journey. Um, so if I think I've shared this in past videos on my channel, but I know that I have quite a few new followers who may not have seen that video. And so I just want to share how I started gifting, and yeah, I just want to share how I started gifting. So basically, I started gifting really in 2016. The process of creating a process for doing something creative that started in 2016 for me. The actual gifts, I think I looked back in my email. Let's see, because I knew it was something that I wanted to do. Let me back up. So I knew I wanted to do something creative, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. During that time period, I was going through a uh, a period of depression, where I really felt like I had lost my identity. And so I started thinking about, I'm really creative with my hands, right? I can sew, I'm a creative person, period. But with my hands, I can sew. I love to do crafts. I make different things, and I happen to be remember I said I was going through a period of depression. I happen to be on Pinterest, and I had this idea about starting and this will sound familiar to you because you've seen other people do it, right? But around that time, I had an idea about starting a subscription box. And it was going to be these particular products that I would go out and find. Well, I was just having a hard time trying to figure out how to get that going. And so I happened to be on Pinterest one day, and I found out that, or I guess I had been searching for subscription box stuff on Pinterest. I don't really remember, but in my feed on Pinterest was this a gift popped up, and it was in a gift box. And I had seen gifts before, but most of the gifts that I had seen were in baskets, right? So you see a lot of people giving gift baskets and not really gift boxes. So, the moment I saw that gift, and I was like, this is what I want to do. Like immediately. And I had already started, doing different things, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I think at one time I was making tutus, and, but I was making, with my friend, we were making a whole set, we were just trying to figure things out. And uh, when the moment I saw that box, I knew that I no longer wanted to do the subscription box. I wanted to do gifts, and I was certain about that. And so, mind you, I had no experience at the time with gifting. The experience I had were um, not so good experiences. Like right before, like 3 years before that, I had given a really, let's see, let's see, 5 years before that, I had given some really horrible bridesmaids gifts that I felt really bad about. right? And then after that, I was given a gift at this Christmas gathering that I had with a group of women every year. Um, I had given an okay gift, but my experience in that was I was standing in the middle of a store, right? I was standing in the middle of a store, almost in tears. So you guys have heard me say that before, and I think that part was pivotal for me. And after that time is when I started, personally for me, just thinking about ways that I can gift differently. And it wasn't until I saw that gift on Pinterest that I realized, hey, I can do this now. Mind you, in two, the 2 years prior, I had already started creating a process for myself, for personal gifting, because that Christmas party came, it came every year. So I had to give those gifts, but I had started thinking about things differently. And in 2000, probably by the end of 2016, I would say, I partnered with my friend that I was making tutus with to give a gift, to another friend. And her response, I did the things that I had, been that I had learned from my past failed giftings, right? I did the thing that I had learned, and her response was, like, really the confirmation that I needed. So I really do want to do this. So in 2017, and let me look back. I want to make sure I have. Um, in the wrong folder, but I want to make sure. I want to give a date, because when I was looking back through my emails, I was like, oh, really? I did a gift that day. I didn't know. I hadn't realized that I had gifted someone, had created a gift for someone in that time period. But in 2017, I was trying to figure out how early in 2017, but I'm not seeing. It's because I'm in the wrong folder. Let me go back. Um, I don't see it. But I know that I started looking in my emails for a different reason, because I had to give someone a date that I actually started gifting. Um, so I really wanted to share that, but I'll if I find it, I will. I'll put it in the description. Not like this, it's not majorly important. It's important to me, but not majorly important to you all. Likely not. But I started creating gifts, in 2017, earlier than I actually thought. I think it's around about April of 2017 when I started creating gifts for other people. I started creating, where they would pay me, right? Yeah, the first gift where I actually, so those, like, I had a few gifts where I would just ask them a few questions, and then I would say, you know, run to the store and pick out a lot of things. But it wasn't until later in that year, probably around August of that year, where actually started designing the gift. So me telling you guys, to plan or design your gift, those are things that I actually went through in creating gifts for. Those are things that I learned in my process of creating gifts for other people. So when I say it's definitely worth the time that you take to design a gift, it is definitely worth it. But so in I guess about yeah, so in about August, that's when I designed my first gift, but it wasn't when I created my first gift. So I was so happy about that gift. I was happy about the other gifts too, because there's one that I actually talk about in some past videos where I created a gift for, it was for a baby shower. And that person um, that received the person that received the gift wasn't the only person that remembered the gift. And so it was another person that I met years later. Like that was in 2017. And I met this person in 2021. And she said, "You're the person. You created that gift for such and such." I can't remember the person's name, but you created the gift for such and such. And she's like, "I remember that gift. I remember it." And so when I say that you want to bring surprise and delight, it delights not just the person receiving the gift, it delights the person giving the gift and those that are around watching the person receive the gift, because you put so much thought and so much intention into it that the emotional reaction is that the emotional reaction is so positive and overwhelming for the person. So yeah, that is when I started. And really, I count 2017. I think I did some things in 2016, but for the most part, 2017 is when I started using the name Creatively Memorable. It's not when I created the name, but it's when I started really using the name. Um, so, and yeah, so that's when I got started. So, a couple of instances that I wanted to mention while I am on here with you all is, some of my bad gifting experiences. And I think I would come up with these ideas for gifts. Now, remember, so there are two pivotal moments. Well, I'll say three. There are like three pivotal moments in my gifting prior to me actually starting to gift for other people in 2017. And so in 2011, when I got married, I created these gifts for my bridesmaids. And those gifts, you guys, they were not good. Um, they were not good. And I completely understand for those brides and grooms who are trying to create very intentional gifts for their wedding party. Trust me, I understand every bit of what you're going through because you are trying to plan the wedding. Well, if you're doing it pretty early on, see, mine was a day of gift, but a lot of people do proposals now, right? And so, either way, I completely understand because you're going through the process, whether it's in the beginning stages or if it's toward the end, you're going through the process of trying to figure out, things for your wedding. If you're in the beginning stages, you're trying to figure out what you're going to do, like when it's going to be, who your vendors are going to be, if you're going to go with a planner, so on and so forth. But that was like my first, that was a, I don't want to say it's first, but that was a pivotal gifting experience for me because I remember it. I remembered that they didn't like the gifts. I remembered that one of my bridesmaids left her gift at the hotel. And when I tried to give it to her, she never came and got it. I still have the box. I just eventually took the stuff out of it. But I still have the box to this day. And I kept it on purpose. But um, I remember that when I started to think about the fact that she left that gift, I remember how I felt about it. Not towards her, but to, for my own self, like how could, you gave them such a bad gift. Like this was supposed to be an appreciation for them supporting you on your wedding day. And so I remember uh, how bad I felt. I remember that the gifts were forgettable. And I remember that I said to myself that I was going to make it up to them by doing something afterwards. And I did. And I called them years later, and I asked them if they remember what I gave them, and without fail, each one of them called out that second gift. None of them remember what was in the first one. They didn't remember. And so that was one pivotal moment. And the second pivotal moment was when I had to. That was the one where I was in the middle of a store and I was literally about in tears. Now, mind you, I had in my head, that I've already given these horrible gifts to my bridesmaids. I don't want to give a horrible gift to this person, right? So I was almost in tears. And then the third moment was when I was starting to create a process for myself of how, gifting should go, like creating a process of how to create a gift that is intentional and that excuse me, that would bring surprise and delight. And so that was maybe a year after. That probably was the very next year. And so I did something completely different from what I would normally do. And um, that was the first time that I worked with a box, a gift box, putting a gift in a box and trying to do something totally different. And that person, they liked it. It wasn't in the most magnificent gift, right? Because at that time, I didn't even know I would go into gifting. So I'm not doing what I'm doing now. And so, yeah, I was those were the three moments that stand out to me, that always come back to my memory. And it was after seeing that gift box and after having those three moments that I started to really pay attention to how is gifting and really develop my process. So there were some things that I was already doing based on those previous experiences, but I just really honed in on how to make it better. And I was able to do that throughout 2017 with the people who trusted me enough to create gifts for them, for other people. And so that's really how I got started. And I've created many gifts for people, and these were custom gifts. They were created just for the person that had. They were created just for the recipient, that the person sorry, I don't know if that cut me off, but they were created for the recipient that the person wanted to give the gift to. So I, got to a point where I was collecting really good details and thinking through the gift, and designing a gift, and working with the client to say, this is what I am proposing that we give this person. And if any adjustments need to be made, we make those. And so I was able to do that. And I've also been able to create curated gifts. I've also been able to curate gifts and have people buy those as well. And I don't know if I'm gonna do the curated gifts, because I was doing for a particular holiday, and so I don't know if I'm gonna go back and do that anytime soon. But that is how I got started gifting. But when I started to really dig a little bit deeper about why I was so intrigued, I hope y'all can't hear that loud noise. But I started to dig about why I was so intrigued and why I like to gift in the way that I do, in the way that I speak about, right? And I really want to help people experience the joy in gifting. I want them to experience the joy in gifting and not the stress and the overwhelm. Um, I think I said on one of the other videos, and maybe it was maybe in my last video or last one of the last two videos, I said, or lives, I said that my one of my love languages is gifting. But on top of that, I have over the years have learned that it is truly better to give than to receive. And so if you're going to give something to someone, you want to give them, what you think is a good gift, right? I don't think that anybody is trying to give horrible gifts unless you are pranking somebody, right? But I really wanted to help people enjoy or help people experience the joy of gifting on both sides, those that were giving the gifts and those that were receiving the gift. Really create memorable experiences for people. Um, for those who are giving the gifts, that experience that they envision, and then for those who are receiving the gifts, a memorable experience that, with the gift that they didn't even know could be created for them, right? So because it's something that they didn't expect. And I've been able to repeat that over and over again, and it has brought me so much joy. But get this, I'm gonna say this and I'm probably gonna get off, but I was so in my 2024 goal setting, or purpose planning, it's not really goal setting, but in my purpose planning, one of the things that I did was look up the meaning of my name. And I think I kind of shared a little bit of it on one of my last lives, one of the last two lives. And what I found is that my name, I've always known that my first name means beloved, right? So my name is Amy Lakeisha. And so my first name is Amy, my middle name is Lakeisha. And I found out that my middle name um, means joyful. And I want to make sure I say it right. It does mean so my first name means beloved of God, or beloved, but in Hebrew, beloved of God. And my middle name means great joy. In Hebrew, it means joyful, and in Latin, it means joy and gladness. Right. So joy is there. So that explains why I want to I want to create gifts that help people experience the joy of gifting, not just experience getting a gift. Um, I think sometimes we feel like a person should be happy to get what we give them. They should just be happy about it. And a lot of times that's just not it. I have gotten gifts that, I was happy that they gave me a gift, but I wasn't happy with what I got. Right. Because, and it's not being ungrateful that I got something, but a lot of times when I felt that way, it was something that I couldn't use, a color that I absolutely did not like, or it just didn't, I didn't like it. I don't know how else to put it. I didn't like it. And I know people have had those moments, whether you want to admit it or not. I know people have had those moments where they've gotten gifts that they just did not like. And you try to find something to do with it because you are thankful to the person. It's nothing against that person. You're thankful for the gift, for the fact that they went out and purchased a gift for you, right? It's nothing against them for doing that, because you're very grateful for them even thinking about the fact that you gave them a gift, but you're not necessarily happy about what was in it. And so, yeah, you try to find, you end up regifting, giving it away, throwing it away, what have you, or just holding on to it and allowing it to be clutter in your home. And so I think that is, you know, where it all comes from. My name literally means, my middle name literally means joy. And so the fact that I want to watch people experience the joy of gifting is not far-fetched. But you all, that is my story for gifting. That's how I got into it. That's my thought behind it, behind the way that I gift. And so, I hope that you've enjoyed this little bit of story time that I have been having with you. And yeah, that is all that I have for today. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. I don't know. I would want to do more story times. Um, but we'll see. So yeah, but if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to my channel. You never know when I'll do a story time. I may try to do it more often. But uh, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, share it, right? And if you have any questions for me about my journey, or about anything that I've talked about in any of my videos, you can leave a comment. And I'll be sure to respond to you. But that is all that I have for today. So until next time, happy gifting and many blessings.